Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome to AmpleScramble. This is going to be another one of my rants on the road videos here. Remember to share, like, and comment. But I want to get to the issue of Deshaun Watson, and not everyone, but a lot of people are advocating for him to go to the Denver Broncos, or for the Denver Broncos to pursue him. And I think that would be a mistake. My thing with the Denver Broncos is that they constantly bring in these new quarterbacks, and 2 or 3 years afterwards they're gone. So we're looking at possibly the same thing happening with Drew Lock. I mean, Drew Lock may not be the Tom Brady type of quarterback right now, but I say give this guy a chance. What the Broncos have been doing too many seasons has been bringing in quarterbacks and putting them at the helm for 2 years and then ditching them for an upgrade or a free agent. And the thing is, if you let these guys develop in the system, there's no telling what you will have. I look at it, for example, Tim Tebow. A lot of people, don't think he had what it took to cut it in the NFL. But I mean, the guy set so many records when he was at University of Florida, and he was on par for the same thing in the NFL with the Denver Broncos. But you get rid of him. Osweiler, same thing. Get rid of him. I know we got the championship with Peyton Manning, and on that subject of Peyton Manning, congratulations on going to the Hall of Fame. He deserves it. But what's the possibility of us, had we stuck with Osweiler or had we stuck with Tim Tebow? What's the possibility of the Broncos having won multiple NFL championships at this point? We'll never know. But I'm just saying that the Broncos give up on these young quarterbacks too fast, and you need these young quarterbacks to have as much confidence as possible when they go out there on the field. So all this talk about bringing Deshaun Watson in and replacing Drew Lock after 2 or 3 seasons is ridiculous. What do you think that's doing to his confidence? So let's say we don't land Deshaun Watson as a Denver Bronco. For you Denver Bronco fans out there, you don't land Deshaun Watson. Okay, now you got Drew Lock going in this season. His confidence is shot, and if he has a breakaway season or a breakout season, will you be upset at him? Even if they don't win the Super Bowl or make it to the Super Bowl, but they just have a 11-5, 12-4 season or something like that, then he decides he wants more money or he wants to walk. Now he looks like the bad guy. So keep that in mind if that happens. So all I'm saying is that the Broncos have a history of giving up on guys too quick. Elway, when he was a quarterback with the Denver Broncos, he didn't come right out of the gate winning Super Bowls. He had to take time. He had to be given time to develop, and you put a team around him. And I think you can do the same thing with Drew Lock likewise. It's just hold on to him. And, people tend to forget how much hope and praise they had for him when the Denver Broncos selected him. Where did all that go? So you're just going to throw that all out the window for Deshaun Watson? Shaking my head here. But I don't think it's going to do anything positive as far as affecting the play of Drew Lock if we keep saying as fans and as the organization that we'd like to get our hands on on Deshaun Watson. Also to note, I believe the Denver Broncos need to do something with the coaching staff. If not head coach, then get someone in as an offensive coordinator that can come in and do some exciting things with the offense. We had one of the most prolific offenses for years, even prior to Peyton Manning coming to play for the Denver Broncos. You know, you had some good offensive schemes that were working out there, and now I don't know what the heck is going on, but I think that's one area we need to be talking about more for those of you that are Denver Broncos fans, is the coaching staff. You need to look at the coaching staff more than bringing in Deshaun Watson. So what's the point of bringing him in here for the Broncos and not get rid of the coaching staff that we have in place in Denver? And also on that note with the Broncos, there's too much turnover with the coaching staff. You know, Vance Joseph wasn't Vince Lombardi, but you know, he gave him what, 2 years? You didn't even give him a long time. You know, so and then you come around and you do the same thing with Vic Fangio, and I'm not a huge fan of him by any means, but you bring these guys in, and believe you me, that if the Broncos do wind up somehow landing Deshaun Watson, that coaching staff will not last. That coaching staff will be out the door. Let's say if the Broncos start off the next season with a Deshaun Watson on the center, and they start off like 2-4 or 1-3, that coaching staff is gone, because you're going to invest so much money in Deshaun Watson that you need to get performance right away. So that's one thing to take in consideration as well. So it doesn't matter who they put under center if you're not going to change something dealing with the offensive scheme of this team. And as far as Deshaun Watson is concerned, my feelings are he comes from, and I'm not ranking, I'm not throwing shade on the guy. He's a good quarterback. It's just in the division that the Broncos are in, you have some of the most heated rivalries in the NFL. You got Denver playing the Raiders twice. You got Denver playing the Chiefs twice. And, a sleeper, I don't know if there's really a rivalry between the Chargers and the Broncos, but you could say it is a rivalry between them as well. And you got to take that in consideration. It's going to be a lot more competitive than the AFC South. You're not going to have the Jaguars to kick around. You're not going to have, I want to say, is it the Colts in that division as well. You're not going to have those games. You got these teams in the AFC West that are, they're strong, they're fast. It's a whole different ball game here. And also the element of the weather conditions are going to come into play as well. So what do? You can't scramble a lot when it's 25 degrees outside with snow on the field. You can't do what you want to do, and that your whole the whole style of play will change. What do you do when you go into Kansas City and it's 7 degrees outside, and you're gonna have to make adjustments to your offense for that. So I'm not taking anything away from Deshaun Watson, just saying that Denver is not the ideal place for him. That's just my opinion. Now, as far as ideal places for him to go, I would say, let me think off the top of my head here. I would say the Atlanta Falcons will be one. And the reason I'm saying that is because of the division they're in. I believe you got, the Saints, indoor stadium, Buccaneers, pretty decent weather. And let me think, who else is that in the NFC South? Well, you got the Saints, you got the Buccaneers, and kind of drawing a blank here. The Saints, the Bucks, the Falcons, and there's one more team I'm missing there. I want to say maybe Carolina, but yeah, at any extent, I think he will fare well in one of those organizations. But the move going from Houston into an environment such as Denver, where you're going to be playing those games outdoors, and you're going to be playing against those Raiders and Chiefs a couple times a year, it's just not going to work out. I don't see it working out. So, but let me know what you think in the comment section. That's just my 2 cents on it. Bringing him here. I think the last veteran that we brought in was a Joe Flacco, and he couldn't cut it. But we'll have to see what happens. Now, as far as bringing someone in where you will keep the confidence level of Joe Flacco, I'm sorry, I'm going back to Joe Flacco, where you can keep the confidence level of Drew Lock high and continue to let him develop. Now, the quarterback that comes to mind to me that you will be able to put into the fold will be Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton, I know he hasn't won any Super Bowls, but let's not forget what he did with the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, the Bengals were there a lot of years. I mean, they made the playoffs a lot of years. Didn't win many games, but they made a lot of playoffs with him. And cold weather stadium, and that division that they were in back there in Cincinnati, playing the Browns, Steelers, and I want to say Ravens. Yeah, that's a black and blue division, just like the NFC North with the Detroit Lions, Minnesota Vikings, Chicago Bears, and Green Bay Packers. So, in my opinion, I think that will be one of the ideal quarterbacks that you will go after. Not so much a Dak Prescott. He's going to come in with expectations to start. So once again, you would pretty much treat Drew Lock with a lot of disrespect doing that. So yeah, just my thoughts. I say go, if you're going to sign any quarterback this offseason or trade for any quarterback this offseason, get Andy Dalton. Bring Andy Dalton in. And that way you have a proven veteran, been in the league a while, and could possibly, take the Broncos to the next level if Drew Lock doesn't develop into what I think he would develop into. Bring in Andy Dalton. Is it going to turn out the way it did with Joe Flacco? I don't think so. Is it going to turn out the way that it turned out with bringing Peyton Manning in the later years of his career? Maybe so. I'm leaning more towards that. But in the words of the 76ers, trust the process. And with that, I'm out. You guys take care. Thanks for listening to me rant.